Are we able to read all that? We have Abraham. We have Jacob. We have Abraham. We have Isaac. We have Jacob. And we have the children of Israel. Continuously, the generation to come. Are we able to see that? Before we go to the main scripture, in Genesis, let me read Genesis chapter 22 verse 17 for all of us. Genesis chapter 22 verse 17. This illustration will take us into the main message. Someone to read Genesis 22 verse 17. Who has found it? Genesis 22 verse 17. Anyone to read for us? There's no one yet. Okay. I will read. Genesis 22 verse 17. Verse 17 reads, that in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of the heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore, and thy seed shall possess the gates of his enemies. Are we together? This encounter was a promise of God through his angel to Father Abraham. Abraham showed obedience to God to sacrifice his and only son Isaac on that altar on that particular day. I'm sure we know this story. Now, the angel of the Lord came the second time and said, Abraham, for doing this one, for your obedience, I'm going to bless you, Abraham. I'll also bless your seed. The seed of Abraham is the son Isaac, and the seed of Isaac is the son Jacob, and the seed of Jacob are the 12 children, the tribe of Israel, which lived in Geshom, and the generation to come. Now, the blessing of God is starting from Abraham, being transferred to Isaac, being taken to Jacob, and then the children of Israel, and the world to come. The world to come are those people who are following the ordinances of God. Are we together? Those who are following the ordinances of God are the world to come, are the ones that come after the children of Israel. This is how the pattern of blessing flows. This same pattern of blessing can also be the pattern of a case. Are we together? It can also be the pattern of a case. The case can be transferred from your father, from your grandfather, to your father, to you, and to your children. So do an evil covenant. It can also be transferred from your grandfather, to your father, to you, and your children. Even evil dedication. If your grandfather dedicated the entire family to idols, or to poverty, promiscuity, polygamy, no marriage, that spirit will be transferred from your grandfather to your father, to you, and to your children. Every generation is 100 years. Are we together? Now, every generation is 100 years. Meaning, the child to my daughter here, will be suffering the sins of the fathers 400 years ago. Is it thinking? The sins of your father, or the father of your father, 400 years ago, can affect you today. So don't make yourself comfortable. Don't make yourself comfortable. Even missing a service like this one, it's an error. Even when it has been announced that there will be this kind of service of reversing or breaking evil dedication, you even hear it and then you miss it. No, it's an error. So, 400 years, each person is representing 100 years. So 400 years. If you ask me, I never saw the grandfather to my father. I never saw my grandfather. Am I talking to somebody? So the lives these people lived before me, I do not know. For me to change the pattern, I have to make things right now. I doubt if my father was praying or he was born again. I don't know. I was young when he died. Let me give him 50%. But I don't know his father. What his father or the grandfather my father did, I don't know. So the assumption is that he was an idol worshiper. Amen. That's the assumption I'm making. And I have to pray and change the story and the pattern. Are we together? I have to pray hard and change the pattern so that my children do not follow this pattern which is this side. They must have a new chapter and a new beginning. Give Jesus Christ the camp offering. Give them there. Give them there. Give them there. This illustration is the basis of our message today. When you follow this illustration, you'll be able to follow the message properly and you'll be serious. Do you know that many families, there is the glorified and married. There is glorified poverty, glorified witchcraft. They will even say, no, as all we need is, we just have a permanent man friend or girlfriend, permanent. Witchcraft is just normal. They even say the grandfather, my father was very powerful. In what? Ask them, in what? Witchcraft. Idol worshiping is so popular in this part of the world. Even in the West, it's there. They move with briefcases, in suits, as the witch doctor. You not see him with beads, no, in the briefcase. You go in a hotel room and you'll be chanting in a hotel room. Advanced witchcraft. Amen. They post on Facebook to advertise. Having said that, we are going to read now the scripture. Let's go to the book of 1 Samuel.